What should you blog about, particularly if you're blogging for business? Grab a pen, get ready to take some notes because I'm going to save you from ever having to stare at a blank page ever again. Let's get started. What's up? I'm Zach. Welcome to the Mission Driven Impact YouTube channel. We help nonprofits, social entrepreneurs, any kind of business trying to make the world a better place. We help them raise awareness by clarifying their message, getting the word out, and building a community of fans and supporters. A blog is one of our favorite ways to do that. That's because a blog brings people to you. It increases your website traffic. It lets you show off your authority. It boosts that know, like, trust factor. In fact, I actually talked a lot about why you might consider a business blog and some benefits and even how to get started on the right foot. I covered all that in the last video. I'll leave that in one of the eyes, in one of the corners. Today, I'm going to be sharing 3 tips so that you never run out of ideas again. First, let me emphasize that topic selection is one of the most critical factors of success for any business blog. Choosing the right topic to talk about that's going to both align and connect with your audience and that's going to move your relationship with them forward it's totally essential that you hone this skill. Now, it can get a little bit complicated on keywords and all this stuff, and that's why in my agency and when I coach people to do this themselves, I really break it down into 3 main frameworks. That's what I'm going to give to you today. Make sure you watch to the end though, because I'm going to give you a bonus tip to make sure that you're actually getting the most out of whatever topic you choose. Let's get started. Tip number 1 is to tell stories. Stories are gold and so powerful for any kind of business. Whether you have a product or a service, whether you're a donation-based or revenue-based, a story is going to move your business. That's because tactically speaking, they're engaging. They're going to drive a lot of clicks, likes, shares, comments. They're relatable. They help other people see themselves in your story. Whenever you're in doubt, figure out a way to tell a story. Now, I personally like to think about stories in 3 main subcategories, I guess. There are stories about people in your industry, people who you know your audience is familiar with and they look up to. It doesn't have to be someone that you've worked with or have a relationship with directly, but just writing a story about them can generate a lot of buzz. It's really great for a top of funnel piece that brings traffic to your site. Case studies, which are just stories about people that you've helped, past customers, clients, beneficiaries, whatever that looks like for you, telling that story and how you got them, how you helped them overcome their challenge and get results. It's just a very powerful way to build trust and authority in your audience. People start to, again, see themselves as part of that story. They start to believe that the transformation is possible and you're the guide that's going to help them get them. That's going to help them get there. So case studies and stories, I always prioritize this whenever my agency comes in. We always prioritize filling out as many case studies as we can. Lastly, sharing personal stories, some sort of behind the scenes glimpse, an employee spotlight, a donor spotlight. These are all great ways to get people to connect with the human side of your brand. Remember, people don't just connect with businesses and brands, they connect with other people. So showing that human side, showing what goes on behind everything that you do, giving people a personal glimpse into your business, into your organization, definitely one of the most powerful things you can do to get people to feel connected. Tip number 2 is to solve a problem. Now, if all you ever did on your blog week in and week out was tell stories and solve problems, you could probably build one of the most successful blogs on the internet. I mean, these are the foundations, these are the essentials. This is how we show our audience that we have their best interest at heart by providing them with things that they're interested in. Our blog's not a diary about all of our news and events and things that are going on our business. Now, you're welcome to post those on your blog, but your strategy should be to continue adding value, telling stories, solving problems. How do you solve a problem? Give educational insights or walk people step by step through how to do something. Just go to Google and start typing in how to, and we'll cover this in a minute, but you'll instantly get like a billion ideas, way more than you could ever write. So just run with the best ones. How to do this, how to do that. You know that someone in your target audience has this problem. How would you solve it? Well, and then title it, How to Solve This Problem, right? Walking people step by step is something that is very foundational. But I think that we've all been there where we've turned to YouTube or we've turned to a blog to figure out how to do something. And the brands that showed us how to do that in a way that was empathetic, in the way that didn't make us feel like we were dumb or stupid, but that actually helped us accomplish what we wanted to, we remember those brands. And let me just give a really quick PSA that solving a problem isn't just marketing. business blogging isn't just marketing, right? You're using your blog to actually accomplish the mission that you set out when you went into business, right? You went into business because you believe that you're actually improving people's lives. You believe that people are better off after engaging with your business. If you don't, this might not be the right channel for you. And if you don't believe that, but you want to, that's a mindset issue. That's something else that I'd love to talk to you about. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll leave a link down in the description. Message me and we can talk that out, because I do a lot of work on that. But the reason that you went into business was to make people's lives better off. And you want to reach as many people as you can and have as deep of an impact as you can. And your blog is just a way that you're able to do that. It doesn't all have to be from your product or from your service or from your offer, whatever it is. You can do this in a multitude of ways. And that's one thing I love about a blog, I love about content, is you got to show up with that heart of service. That is what makes successful blogs. With that rant off my chest, tip number 3 is to create searchable content. Basically, this just means, how are you going to get found when people are searching for you on Google? And contrary to what a lot of marketers and other agency owners are going to try to tell you, you do not have to be an SEO whiz to get found on Google. In fact, if you literally never figure out what the letters in SEO stand for, you can still get found on Google. There are a lot of really simple, quick, and easy ways to make sure you're producing content that people are actually searching for. One way, like I mentioned earlier, is just go to Google and start playing around in the search bar. Start typing how to do X, whatever relates to your offer, your product or your service or your program. For instance, for me, for a marketer, I could start typing in how to market, and Google might show me how to market on a budget, how to market on social media, how to market a small business, how to market a startup, right? Whatever Google is showing me, those are things that people are actually already searching for. So go answer those questions. Go walk someone step by step through how to do that. Let's say that you are a food pantry or a community kitchen. Off the top of my head, you could start with how to make certain recipes, how to cook certain things, how to do certain things in the kitchen on a budget. Different tools and gadgets that you don't have to break the bank, but that can really accelerate cooking for a family. Getting an Instant Pot or a really big Dutch oven or something like that. I don't know, I've never had a Dutch oven, but I do have an Instant Pot. But you know what I mean? Start playing around with things that people are looking for, and that's a great way to cast that net and capture people into your business. Another tool or a website that I love is answerthepublic.com. And again, it's a matter of just playing around in the search bar, have some fun with it, experiment. But Answer the Public leverages Google Autosuggest. And so it will give you all these data points. It'll give you nice visualizations if you're a visual person about the questions people are asking. Again, how do you solve a problem? Answer people's questions. People want to know how to do something better or cheaper or faster. They want to know how to overcome a challenge. Maybe they're stuck with something and they need someone to show them the right way out. Well, those all come to Google in the form of questions. So your business can be there to answer those questions. Other things you can do is to leverage LSI keywords. I think that stands for latent semantic indexing, indexed keywords, something like that. Long story short, when you Google something and it shows you the first page, scroll to the bottom and all those other related keywords, those are LSI keywords. But again, those are things that people are searching for. They might not be your exact term, but a lot of times they're related. They're related questions. They're just things people are looking for. All of that can be a great starting point for figuring out what kind of content to create. Again, you don't have to be an SEO whiz. Just start creating content that answers these questions, that gives people a solution to a problem that they have, and you're going to be well on your way. People are going to find you, trust me. Finally, if you want to take things kind of a step further, you can start using tools like Ubersuggest, Ahrefs, ClearScope is another one. These are all SEO tools. I'm not going to get into it in this video, but if you're interested, check those out. All right, choosing a topic is one of the defining factors of success. But other than choosing the right topic, what else can you do? My bonus tip for you is to make sure that your blog is designed with conversion in mind. It's one thing just to put out a lot of nice content that people can read through. It's great to be helpful and solve problems, but ultimately you want this to move the relationship forward. You want people to discover you on your blog and eventually move through to becoming a donor, a paying customer, a client, to sign up for your program, whatever that offer is for you. So make sure that your design is user-friendly, right? I've experienced this a lot of times. I'm sure, a lot of us have if we're into reading online and aimlessly surfing the web, is you'll come across a really meaty article on a site that looks terrible or it doesn't respond on your mobile phone or something. So that really hurts the experience and causes people not even to make it through your blog. Make sure that your website is actually user-friendly and designed for that user experience. When it comes to the actual content, the actual body of the piece you're writing, maybe you don't have control over a nice website, or I understand that takes some time. Two things here. One, you want to focus on a juicy headline. Headlines are a skill you never stop developing. Let me just put it like that. 8 out of 10 people will read your headline. 2 out of 10 people will click through to the body copy. So your headline is really your first line of defense. It's the top of the slippery slope, and you want to push people over the edge with that headline so they slide down into the rest of your post. Now, a good headline is benefit driven. It answers why should I read this? What's in it for me? Sometimes they're very direct. Other times there's a little bit of mystery involved. Sometimes they're lists, they contain numbers. I mean, I can go on. I should make a separate video on headlines, but make sure that you're focusing on producing the best one you can. I usually write 5 to 10 headlines for any YouTube video, for any blog post that I put out, and then I select 1 or 2 of the best ones. The second thing is make sure you have a very clear and direct call to action in all of your blog posts. Non-negotiable, have one right at the end. It's usually a good idea to do it multiple times in the post, but make sure you have at least one at the end. You got to think, what is that next step you want them to take? What's the next step in their relationship? Do you want them to sign up for your email list? That way you've captured them onto your email and you have access to their inbox. You know that they're going to be nurtured through a welcome funnel, whatever you have set up. Do you want them to pick up the phone right away or schedule a consultation with you? Do you want them to click off somewhere else? Only you can decide what that next step needs to be. But at the end of your blog post, you got to ask for it. I said in a previous video, you don't get what you don't ask for. You need to make that call to action and get people to take that next step so that they can actually impact the bottom line of your business. That's what the blog's for. This might sound like a lot, but I promise you the key is really to just get started, give yourself permission to suck, and get 1% better with every new iteration, with every new blog post, with every new headline, every new call to action. Get 1% better. Over time, and I don't mean a long time, pretty quickly, your success is going to compound. The things you learn and your ability to implement the things you learn are going to compound. You're going to start getting a lot of momentum, and those results are going to start flowing. Trust me, that's why I love blogging. I love content marketing, because once you get that flywheel going, it's so much fun. Beyond that, learning to communicate with your audience in a compelling way, I think, is pretty obviously one of the best skills that you can have as a business leader. Whether you founded an early stage startup and you need to get that traction, or you have come into a nonprofit as an executive director and you need to grow, you need to raise funds, you need to get those donation dollars in so you can fulfill your mission. I think the core of that is really having a great story and knowing how to tell it in a way that gets people to lean in and listen and say, this sounds interesting. Tell me more about that. If you want one-on-one help, I've got a 12-week coaching program that helps you discover that story, tell that story in a compelling way, and use it to build out a marketing system that gets people to rally around a cause, right? We're building a community of people who support what you believe in. If that sounds good to you, I've left a link in the description. Book a call with me. It's 30 minutes of your time. It's totally free. I'm going to tell you how to move your business forward, whether that's with me or otherwise, so you can't lose. Book a call, and I will see you in the next one.